Hello everyone and welcome to another prediction video ahead of the 25-26 Premier League season. In the last one we did our Premier League table, so make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already. In this video we are going to be doing our biggest flops, so this is players, so biggest flop for players. Players we think are going to be the biggest success across the season, first manager to be sacked, the top scorer, Champions League winner, and the dark horses from a club perspective. So, again I'll flash up Shearer's and Dan's, just like I did in the Premier League video. I've got multiple for the flops and successes, so I'm happy for you to name a couple.
Two for each.
Yeah. So let us start with the biggest flops for this season.
Okay, I think I'm going to upset someone.
I'm probably going to upset... I might even upset you for one, to be fair.
I've gone for Cunha and Madueke.
Cunha?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing Dan's not here.
Because he's just Billy Big Bollocks, isn't he? And he just... Not Dan.
Yeah, no, that's true as well.
I don't know, there's just something about him I just don't like as a person. And I don't know if I think he will or I hope he does.
He's such a talented player, though.
You see talents go to Man United and really struggle.
Yeah.
I've just got this little sneaky suspicion that he might be one of them.
What about Mbeumo and Sesko? Do you think they'll be okay?
I think Mbeumo will be okay. Yeah, I think he's got more about him as a footballer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cunha's very talented, but I think his temperament and that is completely different.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and Madueke, he's not getting in front of Saka. He doesn't like not playing.
I'm not even sure I put him in front of Nwaneri.
No, I think he's going to get the ump. It already looks like he's got the ump. He plays like he's got the ump. He's missed a penalty for him already. I liked him as a footballer, but I don't think he's the quality that... Yeah, okay, he's probably a good backup, but he's not going to want to sit there and be backup.
He should probably have gone to maybe take it almost like a slight step down.
Like Everton or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere where he's going to, like what Grealish is doing, going to Everton. I know he's only on loan, but, take the opportunity to go and be a big fish somewhere. Yeah, I think that's all fair. Biggest flops for mine, so I'll go for the one that's probably not going to cause concern, but I'm going to go for one that might be a little bit controversial. Matthias Tell for Spurs is going to be a flop, I think.
Well, I mean, he was a flop last season.
That's kind of why I've done it.
Yeah.
They've bought him permanently. I saw nothing from him last season that said to me, he is someone that Spurs should go and keep.
How much they spend on him? 20-something.
Let's go and have a look. I've got the Premier League transfer thingy open here. Let's scroll down to Spurs. Spurs, who's that? Wolves.
Too much, anyway.
Yeah, it's probably more than it should have been.
Much.
It doesn't have the fucking the actual.
I'm pretty sure it was
value.
20-something.
Yeah, it wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've watched him a little bit in pre-season. He just looks like end product wise, just not good enough. Almost like a Timo Werner level. Maybe it surprised me, but I'm backing him to be one of the biggest flops of the season. And the other one, now this is going to be controversial, but I will explain my reasons before you all fucking hammer me for this, is Jack Grealish.
Okay.
So the reason I've said this is because I'm worried that he is going to... What's going to happen to him is going to be what's happened to Calvin Phillips. In that he went to Man City. He did okay in a couple of seasons. He had a couple of good seasons. But he barely played last season. He clearly fell out of favour. Something happened behind the scenes that Pep decided he didn't trust him anymore. He's not really involved in England at the moment. I just worry that what's that done to his kind of confidence? Can he raise his levels again? Now, I will say, on the flip side of that David Moyes has history of turning players like that into, massive success. Look at what he did with Jesse Lingard at West Ham. I just worry that Jack Grealish is going to go there with fairly big expectations, playing in a David Moyes team that is going to be a very pragmatic team because we know that's what he's about. Can he shine in that sort of environment? I'm not sure he can.
Also, like people like Calvin Phillips, he only really had that one season with Leeds, didn't he? Before he moved to Man City, whereas Grealish done it for a bit longer than he with Villa. And he did do it with Man City for a while.
He is infinitely more talented than Calvin Phillips, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know whether I just feel like he's going to go, then he's going to be one of these players that maybe just fades away a little bit and his career is just going to kind of stagnate. Yeah. I really hope it doesn't.
No.
Because a fully fit, playing well Jack Grealish is not only good for whoever he's playing for, but he's good for England.
Yeah.
So it's a controversial take in that, it's something I think is going to happen, but I almost don't want it to happen at the same time. So yeah, there we go. Probably going to get fucking pelters for that one, but anyway, here we are. Biggest successes.
You going or am I going?
Oh, I'll start this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Esteval. I should imagine he's on a lot of people's lists.
He's on my list.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. I know he's also on Shearer's list. I'm not sure he was on Dan's list, but then Dan just had all Man United players. But yeah, Esteval looks. I mean, you've been talking him up all of last season.
Well, I spoke on the pod loads of times about him. We bought him, I think, 2 years ago when he was 16. And he's been tearing, I know it's only the Brazilian league, but he's been tearing that up for 2 years at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he showed glimpses of it in the Club World Cup. He scored against Chelsea when we knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
And the pre-season games he's played in, he's looked brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, he probably should have had a hat-trick in the game that I saw when you were playing...
Leverkusen?
Yes.
Yeah,
he probably should have had a hat-trick in that game. So he looks really good. I've also gone for a selfish one. I've gone for Malik Diouf from West Ham. From what I've seen of him so far, he looks a real player. I think we bought him for about 23 million, something like that. His crossing ability, I suspect that a lot of people picking between him and Wan-Bissaka from a wing-back perspective, if that was their choice, they would have gone Wan-Bissaka. I don't think it'd be too long before they might switch.
I've already done that. FPL started with Wan-Bissaka and then you was raving about him, so he played well. I had a little look, switched them over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen he put in 2 crosses in the in that Premier League Summer Series, one for Bowen and one for, I think it ended up as a Fulcrum goal, but it was crossed into Bowen. And both of them were just unbelievable crosses. Just so much whip on the ball, so I think he's going to be good. And finally, Florian Wirtz. A lot of money, obviously a lot of expectations that go along with it, so can you call it a huge success if he plays really well when he's cost over 100 million or whatever it was? But I just think he's going to light up the Premier League this year. I think he's going to be so good, and I'm really excited to, even though I'm not particularly a big fan of Liverpool, I will look forward to watching Florian Wirtz play.
It's a little bit boring because I've gone for Esteval and Wirtz. I'm really, like you, looking forward to watching Wirtz play. I'm not going to lie, I don't know a massive amount about him, seen bits and pieces, but all of these European experts that come onto various talk shows and things rave about him, say he's a future Ballon d'Or winner, he's that good. So I'm quite excited to see him in the Premier League.
Yeah, and he looked really good at the weekend. So I think he's only about 8.5, 9 million on FPL.
Million, yeah.
So he could be a bit of a steal early doors. So there we go. So that's our flops and successes. So do let us know what you think. Of course, there's no right or wrong answers here. Well, there are wrong answers, probably all the ones we've just given. But yeah, let us know what you think. First manager to be sacked. I think a case could be made for quite a few.
Yep.
Who have you gone for first manager to be sacked?
I've gone for Keith Andrews from Brentford. He's an unknown. He's not had a managerial job before. He's been promoted from within. I think Brentford are going to struggle. My prediction in the prediction table that we've done, I've got them going down in 18th. I think he's in for a tough season if he lasts.
Yeah, I wonder how long he'll be given. It depends on how well they start. Because if he can keep them around the sort of 15th, 16th area for a while, they'll stay. But if they're down the bottom end of or right at the bottom, he won't last long.
Yeah, it's the only thing I will say about Brentford. They don't come across as a club that will just sack someone. I think if they are really struggling, he's right at the bottom, which I think start a season, because the new teams that come up normally have a bit of bit of adrenaline and a bit of, for the start of the season. Apart from Southampton, they could find themselves right down the bottom.
No, you are right. Then they don't strike me as a club that's just going to kick him out, especially as he's been promoted from within.
Yeah.
They're going to give him a fair crack at the whip. So
they might not even sack him. They might just pull him back down to where he was and bring someone else in above him.
Yeah, that's a very good argument. First manager to be sacked, I've gone for Scott Parker. Sort of coincides with the fact that I think Burnley are going to go down last. I think that whilst I really like Scott Parker as a guy, as a bloke, he comes across really well in interviews and stuff. He did really badly in the times he was a Premier League manager with Fulham and with Bournemouth. I just wonder, and I don't want to tag him with this too early in his career, is he going to be a modern day Neil Warnock? Yeah. Where he's unbelievable at getting teams out of the Championship
specialist.
But can't do it in the Premier League.
He's still relatively young though, so he's got time. But the problem is, the more this happens, the more you're going to be labelled with that, and the
Yeah.
harder it's going to be to overcome that.
It's like Sam Allardyce always being labelled as the guy who comes in to save you from relegation,
Yeah.
when he always maintained that he could do something more than that. But it's like, well, no one's going to give you that chance because of your CV.
Yeah.
So I think Scott Parker could be in a spot of bother. I worry about Burnley because I don't think they're going to score enough goals, and I think that they might. They might. Oh, you know, maybe Sean Dyche will back up at Burnley again because he's out of a job still, isn't he? So.
Yeah.
Top scorer. Who have you gone for top scorer? I haven't gone Salah or Haaland.
I haven't either.
Who have you gone for?
So one of mine depends on where he is. So if he goes to Liverpool, I think he's back.
Okay.
I've also gone João Pedro.
Okay.
I think he's going to have so many. If he can stay fit, because he has his injury problems, he can have so many chances to score this season.
Yeah. Cole Palmer's going to get a lot
yeah.
of assists.
Esteval puts in wicked crosses. He's always putting the ball in the box. Gittins, he's hit and miss with his delivery.
Do you think Esteval starts? Do you think he's a regular starter?
I don't think he will. I think Neto will start, who is,
Okay.
you know,
Well, he's
now he's
class as
been
well.
brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think them two will swap and change. Because Neto can also play on the left.
So you think that at Newcastle, if Isak was to have a full injury-free season, you don't think he could potentially get it there?
I just don't think they create as many chances for him as what Liverpool would.
Mm-hmm.
So the more chances you get, obviously, the more
Yeah.
goals you're going to score. He'll be there or thereabouts, even at Newcastle, but I think someone else will pip him to it if he is at Newcastle. Especially as he'll miss, I think, at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Because everything that's going on.
Everything that's going on, yeah. Top scorers. I actually struggled with this. This was the first year I really struggled. Because last year, I think we all went Haaland because of the season that he's had.
Just boring going Haaland.
It kind of is, yeah. And I actually don't think Salah's going to have as good a season as anywhere near as good a season as he did last year.
But he's got more people to take the pressure off of him as well now and score.
There's that. I also think that, you know, this sounds very like almost like a character assassination, but now that he's finally got that contract, does he have as much to play for? You know, was he raising that level because subconsciously he knew he had to impress not only Liverpool to try and get a new contract, but potentially somebody else if Liverpool weren't going to stump up the money. Now that he's got that net of a 2-year, potentially a 3rd-year deal, does his level stay as high? Yeah. I don't know. He is the sort of player that he is a bit of a machine, so he's still going to score loads of goals, don't get me wrong.
I mean, just look at his physique and that. He's looked after himself.
And he's never had a big injury, so he's going to stay fit. So he's still going to have a great season. I just don't think he's going to hit the heights of last season. So I went top scorer this season. I've gone for Hugo Ekitike.
Okay.
His goal scoring record in other countries says to me that he won't get it. But I just feel like in that Liverpool team, a bit like what you were saying about João Pedro, he's going to get so many chances created for him. He's got Salah, he's got Verts, he's got Szoboszlai, he's got McAllister, all these top quality players around him, Gakpo on the left, who are going to be feeding him and getting goals. And as you saw at the weekend, he can also create goals for himself.
Yep.
That was a really well taken goal from outside the box. So I think he might surprise a few this year. And I think he might. I don't think it's going to be a season where someone's going to get 20 or like 25, 30 goals. I think that it might be like a low 20s this year. And the goals are going to be spread out across the team rather than having one player that's going to blow everyone away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he might surprise a few. Champions League winners. I've gone for Barcelona.
Have you?
They are an absolute fucking shambles of a football club. Kind of surprises me that they're even still a football club, to be brutally honest.
Talking of Barcelona, sorry, do you see Rashford's miss?
I did see Rashford's miss, yes.
Word.
Yeah, that was... it's lucky they were 4-0 up at the time.
I must have cursed Como as well, because I said on our board game night they hadn't lost a pre-season game.
Yeah, they got back at 5-0, wasn't it? Yeah, Rashford's miss was horrible, but I just think that they've got such a talented team. I really like Hansi Flick. Story came out the other day that Hansi Flick was considered too risky when he was out of work by West Ham, I don't whether he would have come to us. I have
Yeah.
no idea. But there was a chance that we could have at least started negotiations with him, started talking to him. But we apparently didn't even start that because we thought he was too risky, and we got Julian Lopetegui instead. Fucking good choice. And now Hansi Flick is going to Barcelona, and he's made them amazing. And with Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Rashford in there will probably have a great season, get his mojo back a bit. I think they're going to be really difficult to beat, and they ran PSG really close last season. Was it? Oh, it was Inter Milan.
Inter Milan actually, yeah, decent
did
against them. I just think Barcelona got a little bit of a soft underbelly, so I think they could. They're going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
but
if they're going to win it, it's probably going to be high scoring games, just like they were this season. But I think they're going to be, Champions League is always amazing in the last stages. You just seem to get just ridiculously good games every season. And if Barcelona are involved,
both legs of the Barca Inter.
Oh, it's just probably the two best games of football I've seen, outside of maybe the Man United game where who was it against Monaco? Who was it? They came back and Lyon.
Yes,
where they came back and won it in the way they did. That was special.
And Chelsea's dismantling of Djurgården, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was unreal. Who Djurgården? So yeah, that's who I think. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League?
I've gone Liverpool.
Liverpool. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think,
saying that through gritted teeth a little bit.
Yes. I just think they're going to be so good next season. They're always good in the Champions League, whether they're good in the league or not. They always go far. I think again they'll be there or thereabouts if they don't win it.
Yeah, that's fair. Neither of us said PSG. I know Dan did.
I don't know. You saw what Chelsea did to them in that final. They are a great side, but I don't think they'll do it back to back.
Losing Donnarumma potentially is big as well. He made so many good saves for them in that semi-final against who did they play? I can't remember who it was they played. I know Shearer put PSG. Sorry, he put Chelsea.
He put
Chelsea.
Yeah, he's obviously been drinking.
Yeah, he's put. He also he's put in other Chelsea players and bits and pieces in his. Have you got something you want to tell us about you and Shearer? What's something going on there?
I don't want to make it public.
It's not the right time. Right, okay. Finally then, Dark Horses, Premier League. So which team do you think is going to be flying under the radar, have the best season compared to what people think they're going to do right now?
Everton. I've got them in 8th in my table prediction.
It's like the old Moyes, isn't it, with Everton? Putting them back to where they were when he was there the first time round.
I think he's going to get them hard to beat. The additions of, I know you said you think Jack Grealish might flop. I think the opposite. I think if he can get going early, I think he can have a good season. They've got Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who's a solid player. He's not flashy, does all the right things.
Nobody's coming from Branthwaite this year either so far.
Well, he signed a new contract, didn't he? Yeah.
I thought somebody might come in and just throw 60 or 70 million out just to see if they would be tempted.
And they got Pickford in goal, who's always solid.
Yeah.
He's always up there with the clean sheets at the end of the season. So, yeah, I think with their new stadium as well, could be a bit of a buzz around them.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair. So I'm going to stick with my answer, but having had discussions that we've had tonight doing these videos, I'm worried that this is going to be a really bad one. I'm going to go Crystal Palace for my dark horses. Eze's going to Arsenal though.
Maybe.
If Eze goes to Arsenal, this prediction is going to be bad. If they can retain him and if they can somehow convince Mark Gay to stay as well, I think they could have a really good season, which is weird because I think last season we sort of expected them to kick on because the end of the previous season they were really good when the new manager when Glasner came in.
Yeah.
It started last season horrifically.
Well,
we were even talking about
thinking to Bayern, didn't they? Elise.
Oh yeah, Marco Elise, yeah. But they had such a bad start to that season. We were even talking about relegation, manager being sacked, and then they recovered and finished the season really well. Obviously won the FA Cup. Ridiculously, they're not allowed in the Europa League because of that fucking stupid rule. As Paddy Powell put it, they're not allowed in the Europa League because their name's not Man United or Man City. And so I do think, and obviously they just won the Community Shield against Liverpool. I do think that they could kick on now and have a really good season and actually start pushing for European places on merit if they keep Eze. I don't think they've got, and unless they've got somebody else lined up that can take his place, that can be that creative spark. But there are not many players out there like Eze, who can change a game, who can take a player on. It's almost like he's like Zaha 2.0, isn't he? They got rid of Zaha and Eze came in. It was kind of like that same talismanic player who could carry the ball. Can they go and find another one? I don't know if they can. So, yeah, I think it could be good a season for Palace, but it does hinge on who stays and who goes. So there we go. That is another prediction video done and dusted. Let us know what you think about all these predictions. Give us your predictions down in the comments below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you all for the next one.
See you later.